All right, I got to figure some way to make these figures just a little easier to cut off the base. With the fringe coming down as close to the ankles as I've got it, that's going to make it hard for them to cut it at the ankle and cast the figure separate. Um, it's going to be impossible to work out. Well, maybe it won't be. I don't know. I've just got to figure out how to. I talked to the founder this morning and explained to him what I've got here, and I've got to figure something out on this. So I'm going to work on that today. Also, I got too much of a bulb on the knee, which is a stretched leather on the legging, but I think I overstretched it and it looks weird. So I got to work on that. I may have to do redo the fringe on that guy there, which means I'll have to take him off. This guy, I still got to be able to remove him from the base. So that's the only one I'm going to probably do that with. All right, be right back. I got to figure all this out today. All right, what I do is I removed the fringe that drapes onto the ground. This will make it a lot easier for them to cut at the ankle. I've got to do the same on this side. It's not going to affect that much on the look of the clay. It's going to be a shorter. I'm going to show you here. I won't be able to I don't know if I can video it because it's going to be at an odd angle. No, I'll just do it that way. Okay, that makes it a lot easier for them to cut it. That way they won't have to remove, they can remove him, but they'll just cut the ankle there and weld him back on. I've got this electronic lighter where you press a button here. This is rechargeable, by the way. And there's a spark that goes between those 2 points. And you just put it on the wick of the 2-hour candle, which I also got on Amazon, and it lights it. And I don't have to deal with a butane-filled lighter. I'm just heating up the blade, so it'll make it easier cutting through the clay. You won't have to put much strain on the structure of the clay. I actually had this fringe going too far to the front, so I'm going to have to redo the fringe. It's not a big deal. So I'm just attaching the first. Well, actually, I should do it down here. I'll attach the first. It's hard to keep this fringe from bunching up. I think it's far enough to get in there and cut it they have to cut it apart so they can make a casting of it separate. The pasta machine is just fantastic for making fringe, but it can be a pain in the butt separating it because the clay wants to stick together. Yeah, where I ran into problems is, and I could see this when I did it, and I should have thought to not to make it so difficult for the foundry. When I went down and had it draped on the ground, that just was just a little too, would make it a little too difficult for them to cut it apart. All right, got to do the, I got to do the quill work strip on the legging now. And I'm going to put the quill work strip on here. Okay. Okay, I'm just adding to the rock above the mountain man's head. Oh, that works good. Okay, I'm going to remove him so I can work on the rock. From the rock so I can work on this part of it. There's no set form to the rock. It's just from thousands of years of erosion and pieces breaking off. That formed it. This drywall tool that I got at a hardware store. Works beautiful for this. I gotta mark out where I'm gonna put my wire that I'm gonna cut him free from the base with. And I gotta mark that out with the clay here. I need to build up my clay to touch the base of the mountain man. Now I've marked on the rock the height the background has to be between the rock and him, and also I've marked where I've got to run the wire around the base so that I can cut it free from the total sculpture. So I'm going to remove him again. Lock him down on the base so he's not going to be sliding off. Always nice to have a few C-clamps in your studio for that reason. Okay, now I'll take my wire. I'll bend it right there. Angle it to that and bend it. Good. Now angle it to there and bend it there. Okay, I know this is exciting, but what I'm doing is I'm building up the ground to come up to the level of the ground that he's sitting on and bring it down to the wire. Now I'm going to throw a few rocks in here. To add to it. Okay, let's see how this fits. Oh, it fits perfect. I hope this works. I feel like I should have used a thinner wire. I'm just bringing the clay up to the base. I run out of soft clay. got to get my clay softened up a little bit. I'll have to wait until I get my clay softened up a little bit more. I've got to get it packed in back here, and that's going to be difficult. But I got to wait for my clay to soften so I can push it down in there. I'll continue working on this part. I'll be back in a little while. Bye-bye. Alright, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Go for the stop recording. What I've got to do is bring the clay down and not cover the screws I've got in the board here to hold him in place, because they're going to have to unscrew this thing and take him off when they get ready to well, actually I'll probably just remove the screws once I get the base all finished up and everything, and get him separated from the base, and then put him back into the base, and he'll, well, I'll show you when I get to it. I'm trying to explain something I can't explain. I'll continue working on this part. Alright, I got him worked out. It works out just fine. I can pull him out easily, and of course I'll have to show them how to do it safely without wrecking him or the rest of the clay, but this is all going to work out just fine. Whew. I've got to cut more clay up because I've run out of clay over there. Well, I've got clay, but it's just not much of it left. I got enough clay in this pan, or I just need to get it away from the side because it gets stacked up, and all the clay down below, the closest to the light, is all cold. So I've pushed it out into the middle of the pan. So now you can see how the mountain man is going to look in relation to everything else, and it's going to look dynamite. This is working out so much better than I thought it was going to. He fits in there beautifully. I'm going to work out the base a little bit more. The ground is going to be higher on this side than on this side, which is fine. Ground is very seldom level in the mountains. Now I'm going to have to put clay on the front part here and be able to cut this base away from the bottom part of the base. This is not going to be an easy piece to cast, but being able to take him away from all of this is going to make it a lot less costly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the clay, let me show you a little bit better. Now here's the top of the base that he's sitting on, with the wood base that he's sitting on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the clay up to the point where he has to come out. And then I'll put some clay here, but I won't be blending it in to the bottom part, so it'll be a little easier to take him off. That's the plan anyway. I don't know if that'll work out. Things don't always work out like you plan. All this welding is going to take time. It's going to add to the cost, but it's going to be a lot less costly than trying to cast him with the on the base without taking him off. So it's you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't type of thing. Let's see. I think that I got this right there. Let me see if I can get this separated. Yeah, that works. What I'll do is I'll take my sculpting tool and put a little texture in there. They're just going to have to weld parts of it together. I'm going to put a rock right here. And a little bit of a crack in the rock. That just breaks up the base a little bit. And I'll put a rock right there. Now, that will overlap the crack in the base, but that's going to work out fine. Yeah, that's going to work out good. I don't want to put a lot of rocks down here, but because every time you put a rock, you got to clean around it. But it adds to the storyline. About all I'm going to have time to do is the rest of this side of the base. I'll have to try to work out the other warrior that is going to be standing on the ground, and I've got to try to figure out how. Well, I think I can make it so they can cut that one off the base too. So I'm probably just going to do that, but I'll have to do that next week. This is about as much as I'm going to be able to do this week. I'm just totally pumped about how well this turned out. I didn't think, I mean, this has been bothering me for weeks, trying to figure out how am I going to take this apart and if it's going to work. And it did. And that's the key. If I can get all this working out, gotta get some more clay. Yeah. Then I can finish this piece this coming week. And I can get it to the foundry sometime late in the week. Probably Thursday of next week. Or sooner. I'm sorry, I keep on hitting the camera. Okay. The battery just went dead. All right, everybody. I'm going to have to call it quits for today. I'll see you guys next week. Good night. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really would help me. Also, check out the link below this video. It will take you to a review of my 9 instructional videos that could be very helpful to you if you're thinking of sculpting. Good night, everybody.